Monday, June 12th, here comes your pre-market summary. Futures trying to hold on to positive territory as we kick off a brand new week with, CPI inflation in focus coming up tomorrow morning at 8:30. And then the big event of the week going to be Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. We'll get the latest decision on interest rates from the Fed. Meanwhile, we are back to the upside after, if you remember back on Friday, we started initially higher and then kind of gave it back. By the end of the day, 0.25% right now for the S&P 500, 0.1 there for the Dow, the NASDAQ about 0.5%, a little more negativity. Bottom end of the board here, 2.5% downside for crude, Bitcoin, and Ethereum in the red to start as well. That's what I was mentioning. We did have a nice initial start to the day on Friday before we closed with basically doji on the daily chart for the Qs, S&P. Recent highs initially out of the gate, we come all the way back to essentially the top end of the range by the end of the session. Lots of EV headlines this morning, specifically coming out of China. XPeng up big time here this morning, almost 10% when I sat down. Their new G6, you can now order one of those on their website. 25,000 initial reservations, higher than expected. For XPeng up sharply. NIO cutting prices meanwhile. They're ending their free battery swapping as sales are sliding as well. But still, higher pre-market for both XPeng and NIO, along with Li Auto as well. Amazon with an upgrade coming from Bank of America this morning, pointing to a further 25% upside potential for Amazon shares before the end of the year. So we'll talk about AMZN. Palantir back on watch. Bank of America also very positive on Palantir. AI, all the rage, obviously, saying that Palantir could be one of the dominant players in this space going forward. This stock is up 75% in 5 weeks for PLTR. Not bad. JP Morgan, meanwhile, with a positive note on the entire cruise line group this morning. They've also had a pretty good run over the past few weeks. CCL specifically, but RCL and NCLH also higher on that news this morning. SOFI catching an upgrade as well. Truist Securities with a nice note pointing to further potential upside as well, going to $11 with their price target from $8. And we'll watch Rivian here this morning. NASDAQ announcing over the weekend ON Semiconductor going to replace Rivian shares in the NASDAQ 100. Grab the watch list, guys. Use that QR code on screen. We're coming up at 8:30. We'll see you shortly on TraderTV.Live.